Question of the Week from the Naked Scientists.
Hello and welcome to Question of the Week from the Naked Scientists with me, Dr. Hannah Critchlow. This week, a question that's out of this world.
This is Björn Faller from Stockholm, Sweden. I'm an engineer by profession, but I have started some hobby-scale beer brewing. I wonder, what happens if you brew beer in zero-G?
So, is it possible to brew up a bevy in space? With the answer, here's Professor Charlie Boone, Toronto University scientist who studies the yeast responsible for fermentation.
I have, in fact, sent yeast into space. So our group collaborated with NASA and we sent yeast up in the last shuttle mission. And I can guarantee you that they grow perfectly well in space. Now, we never tried to make beer in space, but I would wager that you could make beautiful beer in space. And the reason I think you could is because if you take yeast and you mix it up in a broth with glucose, they are going to love eating that glucose, and they're going to turn it into ethanol just like they would down here on Earth. There would be a little bit of an issue where they wouldn't settle out of the beer. The gas would be mixing around, and you would have to vent off the gas as the yeast grew. And in the end, you'd have a very cloudy beer. That's what I would wager.
And Dr. Barbara Dunn, Stanford University scientist, comments,
as a yeast researcher and also as an amateur beer maker, I would say that if everything was done at the correct temperature, the yeast would grow fine and in zero gravity produce a beer. They would make the usual alcohol content and most of the usual flavors. If you were making a really big batch of beer, you'd actually have to worry about all the carbon dioxide that the yeast make during fermentation and make sure that it doesn't asphyxiate the astronauts. Finally, after the fermentation was over, I think it would be nearly impossible to bottle the beer. I think everything would go everywhere. So overall, I'd say that it probably wouldn't be the best tasting beer or the best looking beer, but it would be out of this world beer.
With that quandary resolved, we ponder the reality of superheroes and supervillains.
Hi there, my name is Julius Burke, I'm from London, and what I'd like to know is, of all the lasers employed by all of the supervillains portrayed over the years to variously destroy the world, another planet, or indeed our struggling heroes, super or otherwise, which is the most realistic, both in terms of the science behind them and the world-dominating application for which they have been chosen?
Could Goldfinger blast Bond's bits with a laser? Could a lightsaber actually work? Send your thoughts on this quandary to chris@thenakedscientists.com, tweet @nakedscientists, write on our Facebook page, or join in the debate on our forum, which is at nakedscientists.com/forum.
The Naked Scientists Question of the Week, brought to you in association with the Houter Wisman Foundation, supporting science and education from Alpha to Omega.